Hey guys, today we're going to be going through a nice little routine of 6-7 minutes which will loosen up your hips, your back, your shoulders, and it will wake up your core. We're going to build gradually so that we get a little bit more loaded as we go, so it should feel like a little bit of a workout as well. And then my test for you is to stand up before the session, see how you feel in your body, and then test again afterwards, and I bet you feel more upright and more alive. So let's get into it. So first of all, we're just going to start in this wide kneeling position and just rock back and rock forward. So we're just opening up the hips, starting nice and gentle, nice and rhythmic, loosening up the shoulders as we push our hips back. Our shoulders go into flexion, trying to drop that chin down to the floor, and then forwards, opening up the lower back extension, the hip extension, and then 1 foot at a time. As we go forwards, we're going to put our foot outside our hand and drop the hips down, look forwards. So hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch through the groin muscles. Back into that child's pose, and then other foot outside. We're just going to do a few of these just to open up the hip flexors. In a minute, we're going to be doing a more loaded version of that, where our back knee is off the floor, and that's going to activate our core muscles more. But for now, we're just keeping that back knee down so it's a really nice stretch. Okay, so next, as we go back, we're going to thread the needle with one arm and try and get this shoulder down onto the ground. You might not get there, but that's the direction we're going in. Dropping that shoulder down brings a nice little stretch to the rotator cuff, but it also brings in a lovely thoracic spine rotation. So that's rotation through your upper back. So we'll bring a little bit more load into it now, and the way we're going to do that is to take the knees off the floor. So I'm going to curl my toes under so the toes are on the floor, lift the knees off, and we're still going to rock, but my knees stay just off the ground. So what I'm not doing at the moment is pushing my butt up into the air. What I'm doing is trying to stay looking forwards, keep my knees just off the floor, and then as I push forwards, we're going to step outside 1 foot, bring it back, rock back slowly, carefully, and then push forwards again. Other foot goes outside. Then we'll just do a few of these. So what we're doing here is really activating our core muscles to stabilize our spine. We're activating our hip muscles, and even all the way down to our toes are having to be much more active to stabilize this movement with the knees off the floor. We're taking away stability by taking the knees off the floor, which means that our muscles are now having to do the work. We'll do 2 more with the foot at the front. Try and squeeze that back knee up really into the air so you get that lovely hip flexor stretch for these last 2 reps. Squeeze that back knee up. Look forwards, lengthen the spine. Imagine that string from the top of your head. Great. So, whereas before, to bring in a spinal rotation, we were using thread the needle. Now we're going to bring in spinal rotation using our knees. So, imagine there are lasers coming out your knees, and as you push your hips back, you're just going to shine those lasers side to side. Reassess, readjust the feet if you need to. I keep sliding. And then an optional extra, if you want to increase it, is to take 1 foot off the floor. So we're reducing stability again. We're going from 4 points of stability to 3. And the optional extra is to kick through and bringing one hand off. So actually that's 2 points of stability, isn't it? 4 points here, and then twisting through. Okay, and now we're nearly there. We're just going to go up into a downward dog. So from that rock, we're then just going to push up into the air, have a little wriggle. Try and really squeeze your chest and sternum through. Try and get your ears between your biceps and just have a little rock side to side. You'll see I've got bent knees here, so I'm trying to focus on getting a straight line from my hands to my hips. And then just to tie it all together, we'll go back into one of the stretches we did at the beginning, but just the more gentle version where you keep your back knee down on the ground. So try and sink, and we'll do this one a bit slower now. Sink the hips down into the floor, looking forwards, nice long spine. Imagine that string drawing the crown of your head up and forwards. Using a belly breath to really sink the belly down into the hips as well. Breathe into the stretch. And then slowly back. Do a little child's pose, have a little wriggle. And then the other foot goes forwards. Breathing into the stretch, squeezing those hips down, lengthening the spine and pulling from the top of the head. And then one last child's pose here, have a little wriggle. Cool. So, hopefully feeling nice and alive and awake. That activated and stretched all the body, but was done in a fairly quick amount of time. So do your little test, stand up again, feel how your feet feel on the floor, feel how your posture feels, and hopefully that really helped. So until next time, have a healthy and happy week.